Welcome to this short video on how to add a Microsoft Forms survey or quiz into any session, remote virtual session. It can be a class, it can be a presentation, whatever. So in many situations you want to get the audience involved, whether it's to make it more interesting, more fun, whether it is to check their understanding, they're with you, or sometimes just to make sure that they are awake, there is someone out there. So there's a variety of ways of doing it, but some sort of survey or quiz, online fast response piece can work beautifully. And though there are many ways of doing it and many forms of it, forms is the word. Microsoft Forms I regularly find is the easiest to design and the easiest to execute. So that's what we're going to look at. We're first of all going to talk very top line on how to create a survey or quiz in Microsoft Forms. Next, I will show you how to create a QR code and how that makes it so easy for people to access and fill in the survey, but then also a chat link just for a little bit of backup in your session. And then it's as easy as sharing your screens with the results with a little bit of knowledge. That's it. 1, 2, 3. Let's get into it. So to create in MS Forms, we just go into our Office 365 suite. And in there, you've always got the little blob, 9 squares. There's MS Forms. Or here, it's also there. It's just one of the applications. Open it up. Up comes a new tab with, in my case, lots and lots and lots and lots of questionnaires filled in. For you, that will be blank, almost certainly. But you can then choose a new form or a new quiz. Don't worry about the difference. All you need to know is that for a new form, it's completely open-ended. You're just looking for responses. There's no right or wrong. The new quiz is where there is a right or wrong answer. It's more like a test quiz than just an open form. For most of mine, I'm creating forms. There isn't a right or wrong answer. I just want a response. I want to hear from the audience or class. So we click on that, and up comes a simple fill-in form. Title it, give description of it, and then add questions in. Each case, it can be a straight choice, it can be a text-based, it can be a rating, good or bad, it can be a date question, and actually there are some other interesting options in here. Let's say I'm picking a choice, and then I just type in, choose, add options. There's some details in there which I won't get into, but mostly it's pretty self-explanatory. Rather than you watch me make a new form, let's go to one I use regularly, the My Style questionnaire, which is 2 questions. The first one is about people ranking these 4. You can move them around to choose where you're best at presenting and where you're less good. And then the second question is your style of presentation. Do you like to amaze? Do you like to challenge, entertain, so on and so forth? 2 questions. A great way of just engaging a large group or small as we're getting into presentation style. So that's how to create the presentation. That's the first one we can tick off, and let's even tick it off. First one, done. Let's get into the second area about this QR code and chat link. So let's imagine we have created a slide for our survey. How do we share? Well, here we can either get the audience class to use a QR code, or as simple as getting them to click on a link in chat. Let's show you how you integrate those two. First of all, the QR code. Go back into MS Forms where we've created this 2-question questionnaire. Next one I'm going to show you is up here in bold, blocked is share. Click on that and up comes a range of options, a few to be useful but not so many to be confusing. And put your attention here to the 4 circles. First one is create a link. We'll go back there in a second. Secondly is to create a QR code. That's where we're going to go. There's a more advanced option of embedding into websites and other things, or you can just send it directly as an email. But what we're going to do is click on here, create a QR code, and look, it's there already. So all I have to do is click on download. It'll download it into my downloads file. So I bring that up, and here we are under my PC, under downloads. We all have that, and there's my new QR code uploaded, titled the same as my question survey. So if I go back into this here, I can just click and drag from here into my PowerPoint, and it looks enormous. But don't worry, you can just easily click and drag it, move it to the right place on the screen, whatever feels right. Now, anybody, even now, you could wave your camera at that and it should work. Definitely shared in Webex, Zoom, or whatever. People can put up their smartphone camera and it will connect them through. But that's not always going to work for everybody. Someone may just not have their phone with them. So you want the backup of being able to just click into a link in chat is the easiest way to share that in whichever application you're in. So if we go back into Forms and go back to into Share, as we were before, and down in, and this time we were on QR code, but let's go back to the first, which is just creates this link. And I'm just going to copy that link, and it's now ready for me to paste. And rather than put it into my PowerPoint, because that's not a clickable thing in almost all scenarios, let's actually go into a Webex. So let's quickly start a Webex meeting. And it'll open one up for us. Let's get the meeting started, and let's open up participants and open up chat. It's just only me here at the moment, but imagine we've got 10 to 50 people here. What I can do is just copy and paste into chat, and there's the link. And in fact, that'll work for me now. I can click on that link like they can, and up will come this 2-question survey for people to answer. So that's the two pieces. Add in a QR code, be ready to share the link in chat. That means people can get to the survey. So that's the second one of these. Let's get the pencil out. Tick, done. Just leaves us with the third one, which is sharing the screen with the results. And here it is just that. I would just go into Webex and I would just share my screen. So we're back in Webex, but it could be Zoom, it could be Teams. Share my screen. But make sure it is my screen and not just an application, just for flexibility, as long as you've got no other programs open which are a little bit more sensitive. I open up my web browser. Here is the questionnaire, and I can just go back into my original forms. And now, rather than being in the question side, I want to be in the responses side. And here are the responses. We have 15 in total. Scroll down. I would normally zoom in actually as I then describe and talk about the results. It's not perfect, but it is what it is fast and easy, and it will also update immediately. Here we've got 15 responses. Here's the questionnaire from the link I clicked on in Webex. So let's say someone new, in this case it is me, is just responding to these and then choosing one. Let's go with, I like to share what I've learnt. I press submit, up comes a thank you, and as everybody does that, it just automatically updates in MS Forms. Aha, that was 15, now it's 16. These responses come in real time. So as you're going through these, you're going to be able to bring these responses up quickly, share your screen with the results. We get to tick off the third and final one from the different steps. Great, and we are done. Well, not quite. I will just mention it is worth, beware. There are a couple of areas you can fall foul of things. And let me show you from my own experience, because I've made both these mistakes. If we go back into MS Forms, 2 quick things to warn you about. One is under Share. Here it does say anyone with the link can respond. But sometimes as default, it's come out with only people in my organization can respond. Clearly for an internal meeting that should be fine, but if it's an external training or an external event, that causes some issues. People can't respond, so make sure that that is clicked on anyone with the link can respond. The second area just to be slightly careful on is if it's a quiz you're using more than once, the results hold there until you get rid of them. Now you can easily download them, but before the next session when you next need this survey, go into delete all responses. Because once you've created this form, it'll sit there along with all your others very happily and amongst the range of forms for you to use as regularly as you like. So coming out of Webex, coming back into this main presentation as we go through, that was the beware section. And thank you very much. Thank you for listening. Any questions, just get in contact.